In February of 2021, a subway operator named Daniel Hayes finished what should have been his final shift before retirement. 31 years working the night trains in New York City. Same tunnels. Same stations. Same routes. Daniel had seen everything. Fights. Power failures. Flooded tracks. People wandering tunnels at night. After 3 decades underground, almost nothing surprised him anymore. Which is why what happened that night bothered him so much. Because it wasn't dramatic at first. Just strange. His route was simple. Train 14. Downtown line. Final run of the night. Few passengers. Mostly empty stations. The city always felt different after midnight. Quieter. Colder. Like something underneath it finally woke up. At 12:43 a.m. Daniel stopped at Westbridge Station. Doors opened. 2 passengers entered. A woman in a gray coat. And a man wearing all black. Daniel barely noticed them. Until the woman approached the operator window. "Don't let him stay on the train." Daniel frowned. "What?" The woman looked terrified. Not nervous. Terrified. She pointed toward the man in black standing farther down the car. Then quietly repeated. "He isn't supposed to be here." Before Daniel could respond, the doors closed. The train moved. Daniel watched her through the mirror. She never sat down. Never looked away from the man. Just stood frozen. Watching him. 3 minutes later the train arrived at the next station. Riverside. Doors opened. The woman immediately exited. Fast. Almost running. The man in black remained completely motionless. Then the woman suddenly turned back toward the train. Toward Daniel. And mouthed something through the glass. 3 words. "Don't look away." The doors closed again. The train continued. Daniel sighed. Crazy passenger. Not unusual. Still. Something about the man felt wrong. He stood perfectly still. No movement at all. Not even swaying with the train. Most people unconsciously shift balance. This man didn't. Like gravity wasn't affecting him. Daniel checked the rear mirrors again. The man now faced directly toward the operator cabin. Watching him. Daniel looked away immediately. The next station arrived. No passengers entered. No one exited. But when Daniel checked the mirror again, the man stood closer. Much closer. Halfway down the car now. Daniel never saw him move. The train continued into the tunnel. Then suddenly, the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Complete darkness. 3 seconds passed before emergency lights activated. Red lighting flooded the subway car. Daniel immediately checked the mirror. And felt his stomach drop. Because every passenger was gone. Except the man. Now standing directly outside the operator cabin door. Smiling. Daniel hit emergency intercom. "Attention passengers, remain calm." No response. No voices. Nothing. The train radio crackled. Static. Then a voice. "Do not stop the train." Daniel froze. Transit control. Had to be. But the voice sounded distorted. Wrong somehow. "Repeat, do not stop the train." Daniel grabbed the radio. "What's happening back there?" Static answered first. Then. "He wants you to stop." Daniel looked toward the cabin door. The man remained there. Smiling wider now. Then slowly. He raised one hand. And knocked. 3 soft knocks. Daniel accelerated. The next station was only 2 minutes away. Once they reached it, security could handle everything. Easy. Simple. Then the train entered another tunnel section. And everything changed. Because according to the route map, they should have reached Monroe Station already. But outside the windows, only darkness. No platform lights. No station. Just endless tunnel. Daniel checked speed. Normal. Distance. Impossible. He should have reached the station minutes ago. Then the radio returned. He closed the line. Daniel gripped the controls harder. What line? No answer. Only static. Then. Do not open the cabin door. Another knock. Closer now. Daniel looked up slowly. The man stood inches from the glass. Face pale. Eyes completely black. Still smiling. Then the lights died again. Darkness swallowed the train. For 5 seconds Daniel heard nothing. Then came movement. Passengers whispering. Footsteps. Breathing. Dozens of people breathing. But when emergency lights returned, the train was full again. Every seat occupied. Every passenger staring forward silently. None moving. None blinking. Daniel looked around in horror. Because he hadn't stopped anywhere. No one could have entered. Then he noticed something worse. Every passenger looked wet. Clothes soaked. Water dripping slowly onto the floor. And every single one stared toward the cabin. Toward him. The radio crackled violently. Do not let them touch you. Then silence. One passenger stood. Slowly. An older man wearing a torn business suit. Water poured from his sleeves. Then another passenger stood. Then another. Then all of them. Daniel's breathing became shaky. The train finally approached a station. Platform lights ahead. Relief flooded him. Until he saw the station name. Not Monroe. Not any station. The sign simply read. Last stop. Daniel stared. That station didn't exist. The train slowed automatically. Brakes engaging. No, no, no. Daniel tried overriding controls. Nothing worked. The train stopped. Doors opened. Outside the station stood hundreds of people. Perfectly still. Waiting. All facing the train. None moving. The passengers inside slowly turned toward the open doors. Then simultaneously. They looked back at Daniel. Smiling. The man in black finally spoke for the first time. Voice soft. Almost gentle. Everyone gets off here. Daniel slammed emergency controls. Nothing. Radio dead. Systems frozen. Then the platform lights flickered. And suddenly the people outside stood closer. No movement. Just closer. Like skipped frames in a video. Closer. Closer. Now directly outside the train doors. Watching silently. Daniel backed away from the controls. Heart pounding violently. Then every passenger on board spoke together. Same voice. Same exact tone. Open the cabin door. Daniel shook his head. No. Smiles widened across the train. The man in black tilted his head slowly. Then. You already did. Daniel froze. Because behind him. Inside the cabin. Someone knocked softly on the glass. 3 knocks. Daniel turned slowly. And saw another man standing inside the operator cabin. Wearing his uniform. His face. His eyes. Exactly identical to him. Except smiling. The fake Daniel leaned closer and whispered. "Your stop is next." The lights exploded. Darkness swallowed everything. At 1:16 a.m. Train 14 emergency systems activated automatically inside downtown tunnels. Transit authorities responded immediately. But when workers reached the train, every car was empty. No passengers. No operator. Nothing. Except water covering the floors. And according to official reports, the train operator cabin door was locked from the inside. Investigators later reviewed security footage from stations along the route. At every station, cameras showed the same thing. Train 14 arriving. Doors opening. No passengers inside. No operator visible. Just an empty train continuing deeper into tunnels. One detail disturbed investigators most. At 1:09 a.m. the train stopped briefly at a station that does not exist anywhere on subway maps. Cameras showed doors opening into complete darkness. Then dozens of silhouettes entering the train. Police dismissed the footage as corruption caused by electrical failure. Case closed. But subway workers still talk about Train 14. Especially night crews. Because sometimes after midnight, deep in tunnels beneath the city, people hear another train approaching. Even when tracks are empty. Old operators claim if you ever see headlights in a tunnel where no train should be, do not wave. Do not look inside. And whatever happens, never board the last car. Because according to rumors, one passenger still rides there. An older subway operator sitting alone near the window. Soaking wet. Still wearing his uniform. Watching stations pass by endlessly. Waiting for someone to replace him. And if the train stops beside you, the doors may open. Just once. Long enough for a familiar voice to ask. Are you getting on?